So a little while ago, I asked the question, what's the thing that everybody wants, but nobody has? And I kept getting the same answer over and over again, a Batcave. And I thought that was very interesting and specific and weird. And I felt like the only way for me to truly understand this is if I design one myself. And it took us down a very weird route.
It led us to use a unique construction method that really captures the spirit of Batman. It's called sacrificial framework. Well, that was the idea.
It's stuck. Problem. What is going on?
Our research process made me realize a Batcave is more than a secret hiding place with gadgets and Batmobiles. It really taps into this deep, innate desire to escape from the world and reconnect with ourselves in the shadows. A portion of this video is sponsored by ACES.
So for me, one of the most fascinating concepts about Batman is this idea that he doesn't just operate in the shadows, he uses it as a source of power. In the darkness, he confronts his fears and he finds his focus and he finds his true self. And what better place for darkness than a cave?
Come along, fella, you're going with us to the Bat's cave.
Of course, the Wayne's mansion just happened to be right next to a cave, but it's also a very unique site condition. So how do we create a cave without actually building it inside a literal cave? I mean, we are trying to design this thing for the average person. The more I thought about it, there is an architect who did this, Peter Zumthor. He built a chapel in the middle of a field in Germany. And it has this cavernous quality where you can completely drown out the visual noise of the world, where the only natural light comes from the entrance and this tiny aperture from the top. He achieved this using a construction method called sacrificial framework, which I think really captures the spirit of Batman, where you build a wooden framework, pour the concrete around it, and burn the interior, aka sacrifice the wood. First, we 3D printed the formwork for the exterior concrete shell, as well as a mold for the inside so we could easily lay out the dowels in place. Then we poured the concrete, and after it was cured, we removed the mold. We did encounter some problems.
There's a wormhole in this concrete.
Afterwards, we took the model to burn. Let's see what it looks like. The path into a Batcave is typically a dark, narrow path, and we wanted to recreate that experience. In fact, it's designed to create a sense of discomfort, because as soon as you enter, all you see is darkness. You trust your hands and feet to guide you, one careful step at a time. And suddenly, light, coming from an aperture from the roof. The Batcave forces you to rely less on our vision, which is our most dominant sense, and rely more on our other dormant senses. The burning process transformed our structure, giving birth to a space that's not quite wood, not quite concrete, but it's raw and organic. Throughout history, a Batcave has included a lot of different functions. Before the average man, we decided to focus on these 3 functions. The top floor is built around a heat-cold cycle with a sauna and a cold plunge pool with a central fireplace. The floor below is a study, typically referred to in Batman as the laboratory, but essentially it's a place for deep work. And the lowest level is the trophy room. It's a hidden sanctuary for your most prized possessions, and also where you can immerse yourself into your secret passion projects. As you descend further into the ground, the space gets darker and the floor plates get larger, and therefore emptier. On days when it rains, rain filters through this opening in the roof, creating a seamless connection between the cave and the outside world. The entire space is controlled by Alfredo AI.
Hi Danny, welcome back. Do you want fire? More light? Or coffee maybe? I can do an americano or an espresso, decaffeinato, molto lungo, caffè d'oro.
Okay, Alfredo. It's just coffee. Don't get so excited.
Oh my god, Alfredo, why did you turn off the light?
I don't know. Why don't you ask the editors?
This video has all of this footage of fire and darkness, and one of the most annoying things in the editing process
Is spending the hours and hours tweaking the colors. But with the ProArt display from Asus, we know that if it feels good here, it's also going to feel good on a laptop or on a phone or even an HD TV. Because these monitors come pre-calibrated to industry standard color spaces. Also, the position of the monitors can be reconfigured very easily. You can adjust the height, pivot, tilt, or rotate painlessly with a swivel mount on the back. Another perk for creators is we show our screens a lot because we share a lot of our processes, but a lot of times you get this flickering on the screen, which can really ruin a scene. These monitors are certified to reduce screen flicker as well as harsh blue light emission, which means it also helps to reduce the headaches and eye fatigue during long hours of editing or YouTube binging sessions. And by purchasing a ProArt display, you can redeem a free 3-month subscription to Adobe Creative Cloud. So if you're a content creator or a professional artist looking to level up your production at an affordable price, check out the ProArt display links in the description. The first room in the Batcave is all about this process of emptying, which is actually an essential stage in the hero's journey. It's referred to as the abyss. You could say it's the dark part of the hero's journey where he confronts his deepest fears. Before Bruce Wayne could transform from the ordinary billionaire to Batman, he had to leave Gotham and live in this criminal underworld and then go off and train with Ra's al Ghul, which actually didn't happen in the comic books. But we are gonna take a slightly less extreme approach. Alfred, care to explain?
First, the heat from the sauna stimulates blood flow and flushes out your toxins. And then, the cold plunge shocks the senses and deliberately disrupts your normal state. It forces you to wake up and get your body ready for change. Between these extremes, we have the fire pit, where you can rest between your cycle.
Here, the cycle becomes a ritual of emptying what you came in with, embracing discomfort, and resetting the mind and body, and getting ready for the rest of the Batcave. In most fictional Batcaves, there's some kind of an elevator or stairwell that brings you down. You're descending further and further from the light and the outside world.
According to this paper on the cave experiences of ancient Greek oracles, under the conditions of sensory suppression, the mind can enter a state called stimulus hunger, where the brain tries to compensate for the lack of external stimuli by redirecting the focus inward, even creating intensive inner imagery and hallucinations. But for controlled periods of time, all of this can stimulate the brain in ways that we're not used to, potentially making it the perfect space for creative work.
It is true that it's light that's been associated with knowledge and progress for most of history, especially the Western history. And darkness has always been associated with the unknown. But this could actually lay the groundwork for creativity. Let me explain. Most creation stories from different religions around the world start with darkness. In the Genesis, the earth was without form and void, and darkness was over the face of the deep. And God said, "Let there be light." In Greek mythology, chaos, the dark void, existed before any of the gods, from which Gaia and the other entities emerged. Before the Big Bang, the universe existed in a state of nothingness, a darkness out of which all matter and light and energy emerged. So maybe we need to reframe darkness as not just absence, but as potential. Of course, a Batcave in the end is a place where Batman can experiment with insane things in a safe environment. So in many ways, it's a safe place where you can do the weirdest activities and the nerdiest hobbies without judgment. The bottom floor is the most expansive space, with a lot of space to sprawl out. If you have large tools or machines and you want to bring them in, we have a system that allows for that. There's actually lots of research suggesting that open and expansive environments are associated with higher divergent thinking, which are crucial for creativity. Unfortunately, lots of trends in open offices took one aspect of this idea and filled them with distractions. But when designed intentionally, expansive spaces can help you reduce feelings of confinement and increase sense of autonomy, allowing us to think more freely. Last but not least, we have the trophy room, where Batman collects all of his most prized possessions. But I think it's more than just a display. It's a deeply personal archive of his life's work, where each artifact is a tangible reminder of the challenges he's overcome. It motivates him for the future, but most importantly, it's where he can connect with his sense of purpose. Here, in the darkness, you can dream, and you can play. The Batcave isn't just a secret lair with gadgets and Batmobiles, and it's not even just a retreat. It's a place for solitude, which is different from isolation, because it's a deliberate choice to step away from the noise of the world and confront yourself, no matter how uncomfortable it might be.
See you next time, Demi.
What do you guys think? What's your ideal Batcave? Let me know in the comments. You guys want merch? Check out the link in the description. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!